Legendary Motorcar started out of a small single-car garage in 1985. I've been through the ups and downs of the collector car market. I've been lucky enough to turn my passion into my business. My team shares that same passion, and together we buy, sell, restore, and race some of the greatest cars on the planet. I'm Peter Klutt, and this is Legendary Motorcar. Usually the best deals are cars that are not advertised anywhere. There's a GT40 we've been chasing for a while. We finally got hold of the owner, and he tells us the car is at a local shop in Scottsdale. So Gary drops me off at Harley Cluxton's place. This guy's been around forever. He's done it all. He raced for Nart back in the 70s. He was a Ferrari dealership in Arizona in the late 70s. The guy has owned some of the greatest cars on the planet, the double Le Mans winning GT40. He's owned some great Ferraris. He knows everybody, and he's representing the guy that owns this GT40. But this guy, he knows his stuff. Harley, I'm Peter.
Peter, how are you?
Good to meet you.
How was your trip?
Excellent.
Good.
Good. I'm anxious.
Let's go.
Well, I can't believe the size difference.
It is. It's amazing when you see both of them together. I mean, that's the reason it's called a GT40. It's 40 inches off the ground.
Yeah. It looks like a 7/8 scale compared to the new one.
It does, or a GT40 on steroids.
Yeah. How much do you know about this particular car?
A lot. In 2003, went through total restoration, and then sold it to the present client.
Okay. The longer I'm in this business, the more I realize there's still a lot to learn. And when you get a guy that actually was around these cars, raced these cars in the day, owned some of the best ones, and at one point actually owned the golf racing team, you pay attention.
Do you want to?
Yeah, educate me on
that.
What the differences are and what do I look for?
Well, we'll start with the basic shape. Is exactly the same as a race car.
Okay.
The interior is where there is a noticeable difference.
So obviously it had carpeting, which the race car wouldn't have had.
Right.
You know, different seats.
And all of the Mark 1s, which this car is, and Mark 2s were right-hand drive, right-hand shift, the street cars and the race cars. It came standard equipment with a cigarette lighter and an ashtray.
So basically, the street car was a Le Mans winning, capable car other than interior and tune.
Absolutely.
Wow. So what's unique back here? What do I look for what's original and how things were built back then?
The English made the exhaust system. They were sand casts, these tubes. The street cars had, of course, a muffler for each side.
What about the Webers, the original sandcast Webers?
Absolutely. They should be originally, and the way that you tell sandcast Webers, it'll say made in Italy and on the tops, and that's how you can tell that these are original to the car.
What about the gearbox?
Gearbox is a ZF German gearbox. They came from the factory with a gearbox number.
And that number is on the original build sheet too?
That's correct.
Okay. Big job. Can we drive it?
Sure. Do you have a driver's license?
The way Harley hesitated, I don't think he really wanted me to take it for a drive.
Yeah. We're not gonna zing it.
What else do you have for paperwork on the car?
I have the original build sheets, and I can show you that will show the, for every GT40.
I couldn't believe he had the records for every single GT40 built, not just the one I'm interested in. So you have the build sheet for every car?
For every car. And your particular car is Carmen Red, and there's the paint code number that it is Carmen Red. And you'll notice that the transmission is number 152.
Same as what's there. Yep.
We just saw that. The tires and equipment, you've got the Goodyears, and you've got the Borani wheels, the original Borani wheels that are not on the car. But
when he said he had the original Boranis, I knew we'd have to put those back on the car. To me, a street GT40 really needs the wires on it.
And it says trim details, road car specifications.
Getting back to the car, purchasing the car, I talked to the owner and he said, "You're handling it."
Yes, I am representing the owner, and we're asking $3 million US.
Okay.
If you look at this car and the authenticity, the tub, the history, it's always been a road car, continues to be a road car, it is well worth the investment. By preserving that history, you can relive that time, if you will, with the way that the car drives, and you're a good driver, and feel and understand why they were so successful on the road, but also on the racetrack. And that is incredibly important, Peter, for the collector. You don't find a car that is a time warp, and 1058 is.
I don't know if Harley had me under his spell, but I agreed to buying the car, and I think it's one of those cars that I'm going to be happy he did convince me to buy.
So I pull into Harley's shop, and my dad's wailing around in the GT40. I got to get in this thing.
I think Harley was looking concerned as we drove past at about 80 miles an hour. I think you realized we hadn't written the check yet for the car. The GT40, I think even though we paid a ton of money for that car, I think those cars are seriously undervalued in the grand scheme of things.
I agree.